Now, going on to the political part of the podcast, you have the Republican primary poll update. Now, this is the poll aggregator, and this is thanks to the 538.com. So the website URL is quite literally projects.538.com/polls/presidential primary -R 2024 national. Now, Trump is actually at an all-time high. And what this poll is, if you've never seen it before, it's a poll aggregator. So it's an average of all the polls that they're taking. Now, that being said, it looks like there have been a lot of polls lately. So this is, and I'm looking at the most recent ones. So between November 10th and November 20th, that's where all these latest polls are from. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 polls that were all, again, they weren't all within that time period, but all those polls fall within that time period. It looks like the poll durations were a couple days apiece. And the sample sizes are between, again, some not the best, some is only 300, all the way up to 3,619. That one came from Morning Consult. And interestingly enough, of all those polls, only one has DeSantis in the lead, and that was from Harris X. That was 1,000 registered voters taking place between November 15th to November 19th. Now, again, in every other poll, Trump is up by 55 points, 53 points, 51 points, 42 points, 45 points, 49 points, 62 points, 50 points, 58 points, 38 points. So, needless to say, overall, he is ahead by a large margin. Now, again, the sample size of these polls are not great. Again, it's between 300 to at most 3,619. And again, we would need you could dive into the poll in terms of the geographics, but I'm just going to keep it high level today. Now, again, as of today, it looks like Trump is at 60.3%. He's at an all-time high. Now, that has DeSantis down to 12.6%. Nikki Haley increased a little bit. She's at 10.0%. Vivek he's about the same. He's at 4.9%. When I say the same, I compare this last week. Chris Christie's at 2.7%. Burgum is at 0.9%. And Hutchinson is at 0.7%. So I cannot believe, again, marketing is very important, especially in politics. When you're thinking about every public-facing statement you have, every photo op, the smallest things can make the greatest difference. Also, just having the ability to smile helps some candidates. Now, I cannot believe, I don't know who's left at the DeSantis campaign in terms of the marketing department or the PR department, but literally hire anyone else. Like, no one is saying they're doing a good job. Now, these polls all started, so this poll aggregator, if you want to go back to the very beginning, that was January 8th, 2023. That's when all these polls started for this. And at that point, Trump was at 45.2%. DeSantis was at 34.6%. So, again, he was never beating Trump, but that's within moderate spitting distance. Nikki Haley at the time was at 2.6%. Vivek had not even announced he was running yet. Chris Christie's at 1.4%. And then Burgum and Hutchinson had not announced yet. Mike Pence was at 8.8%. Tim Scott was at 1%. So Trump literally went from 45.2% to 60.3%. DeSantis went from 34.6% to 12.6%. Nikki Haley actually went up. She's now at 10%. And Vivek is, again, he's at about 5% or 4.9%. Chris Christie's, he went up by a little bit. He's now at 2.9% still. Again, pretty much everyone's improved, except DeSantis. Again, the averages for most of these other candidates are up. The only exception is DeSantis. Vivek had a little bit of a blip, but he's still better than when he started out. Yeah, because Vivek, he started around 0 or 0.8 to 1%. And he did have that bump where he got up to around 11%. So Vivek definitely needs a bump in the polls because he's gone down a little bit. But just no one's gone down more than DeSantis. And I can't but wonder, again, how are these other candidates going to close the gap? Is it even possible? Again, a lot of things can happen. There's still a lot of time. Sometimes a day can feel like an eternity, and just one publicity stunt could shoot someone to the top. Maybe. I mean, it's never out of the realm of possibility. But let me know in the comments, who are you most surprised to hear is changing in these polls? My 3 cents, again, it used to be 2 cents, but 40-year hyperinflation, gotta be 3 cents. Should be 4, but I'm a generous man, just 3 cents today. Though, still free to click the subscribe button down there. Or there. However your phone is oriented, or in the rare case, your desktop computer. Now, I don't know how Vivek has dropped so much. Interestingly enough, when you look at Vivek's social media, he's very articulate, and most of the responses, when you dive into the comment section, most of them are positive. Now, again, social media doesn't directly correlate to voter turnout and these polls. I know there's obviously a disconnect. There are some people who aren't even on social media. But I'm actually pretty surprised that Vivek has been going down. Perhaps this is a couple of his latest political statements, or maybe people are moving over and starting to vote for different candidates in the primary. Again, a lot of people are going to be voting for Trump no matter what. So it'll be interesting to see. And with DeSantis, I mean, 12.6%? Every move he makes is just stepping on one of my favorite metaphors people keep bringing up in political analysis is he's just stepping on a rake, and the handle of the rake is just slapping him in the face. But someone's placing those rakes there. I think Tim Pool famously said it on his show a couple weeks back. And so there's some conspiracies saying maybe the people working the DeSantis campaign are secretly Donald Trump supporters. But even if that was true, DeSantis should be a prudent enough leader to know, okay, these guys are doing me bad. These guys aren't helping me increase my poll numbers. Fire them, get someone else. Because again, why are you keeping these people on your campaign staff? They're not helping. Look at the polls. It's only going down. I mean, DeSantis, he's made 1 or 2 jumps in the recovery. It's like a really bad stock. It's almost worse than the Container Store stock, and that's down pretty bad. Although I don't think anything is worse than Lumen Technologies. Nevertheless, it's those instances where I'm really not seeing that trend reverse for DeSantis. And let me know in the comments, again, who do you think is going to have the biggest upside? In the next couple of weeks, who's going to increase their numbers the most? And then why do you think DeSantis will fire his campaign staff, or what is he going to do, is it, if anything, to increase his numbers specifically? Be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Don't forget to take the time to really write a couple good comments. In terms of the feedback, is greatly appreciated, even if it's harsh. I always say, even if it's a harsh critique, that's how you grow the most. Also, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of November. So if you can click that button, I would especially appreciate it. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.